Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern made her first visit to Auckland today after 3 months into lockdown, visiting business representatives and a Māngere vaccination clinic. Ardern was quizzed by business owners on boosters, vaccine certificates and MIQ. Speaking to media this afternoon, Ardern said Auckland was her home and she was aware of the toll lockdown was taking. She confirmed it wouldn't be her last visit to the city during lockdown.
Say is, tamaki makoto, Auckland is my home. Because Auckland is my home, my friends and family are here. My friends and family work in many different businesses and different organisations who have been affected by COVID as well. That's the nature of being in politics in New Zealand. We will all have connections, whether it's in our professional lives or our personal lives, and each gives you an insight of just how hard it has been here. And again, I will be back.
Meanwhile, more Auckland school students are set to return to classrooms next week after the government revealed its plan for years 1 to 10. Education Minister Chris Hipkins said New Zealand was nearing the stage when it could reopen, and so students in years 9 and 10 would return to school from next Wednesday, while years 1 to 8 would return part-time. He said public health advice supported the return of schools, but there would be masks for years 4 and up and ventilation requirements.
The health advice also tells us that in other countries, out-of-school activities actually create a greater risk of transmission than what happens in a place of learning.
Schools would be sent comprehensive guidance, but with some schools having more space than others, the advice would vary. It comes as 147 new cases were reported in the community today, and a man self-isolating with COVID died suddenly in his Glen Eden home. 131 of the new cases are in Auckland, 14 in Waikato and 2 are in Northland. 81 people are in hospital with the virus and there are 11 cases in ICU. Officials also advised COVID-19 has been detected in wastewater at Moore Point in Wellington, but it's likely from cases in MIQ. There are now 21 residents and 4 staff members of Edmonton Meadows Care Home in Henderson who have tested positive. 7 of the COVID-19 positive residents are receiving appropriate ward-level care at Auckland hospitals. A second resident at the Rosaria Rest Home has also tested positive. The government confirmed a different option would be brought in for those unable to have the Pfizer vaccine for medical reasons. Director General of Health Dr Ashley Bloomfield said they would offer AstraZeneca as a second option for people aged 18 and over, with the first delivery likely to be late November.
But there is quite a lot of work to ensure that the workforce is trained to administer a second vaccine, that clinics are available to do so, obviously cold storage and logistics are in place for that. So there's some work to do there, but I'm just signalling that that's an option that will be available.